Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Breaking freaking news. Holy crap. We've got a massive development here on the trade front. You know, the Trump W's just keep stacking, despite the media's report card of Donald Trump being the biggest failure in the first 100 days of his administration. You know, I guess they were too busy fear-mongering and gaslighting the people on Trump's pending economic collapse and tariff catastrophe to notice that the president was actually getting the job done and securing some crucial deals behind the scenes. Howard Lutnik just confirmed himself that the Trump administration officially has a deal done. Done, he says. Now, he didn't name the specific nation, but he claims that they have a deal ready with a foreign trading partner, and they're now just waiting for the country's parliament to give the final green light. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here, because this is absolutely huge and the markets are reacting very positively. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so take a look at this. Here's the Howard Lutnik clip and then the Fox News report. This will give you all the context.
I have a deal. Done. But I need to wait for their prime minister and their parliament to give its approval, which I expect shortly. I'm not going to tell you what country. Let the president.
It's just you and me here and a couple million people hopefully watching.
Let the president decide.
4 dones and a prime minister and a parliament sounds a lot like India. We've known for a while Prime Minister Modi, who has a very good relationship with President Trump and did during the first term. India, which is an incredibly tariffed country with lots of regulatory barriers on top of that, was among the first. I mean, I give them a lot of credit, slamming down their tariffs and probably working out a deal for non-tariff barriers. And it would be a tremendous feather in President Trump's cap. I'd love to see him announce it tonight in Michigan on the 100th day, et cetera, et cetera. But I just want to make a generic point. People have gone crazy over the unfair trading practices, over reciprocal trade initiatives by President Trump. They have not given him a chance to make the kind of deals that people who know him know he can make. And I've never understood this. I mean, we hear stocks are going to crash, the economy is going to crash, prices are going to go sky high, the U.S. Treasury market is going down the tube. None of that is true. Our markets had a correction. Who knows? There might have been a correction because technology stocks were overvalued and corrections were already due, and they used tariffs as an excuse. What we've done here, we have orderly markets. Our economy is fine, thank you very much. Let the president, he's going to cut taxes, he's going to deregulate the economy, he's going to produce more energy, and he's going to have a fair and balanced trading system so people don't keep taking advantage of. This is good stuff.
Wow. So we don't know exactly which country it is yet. India seems to be the front runner in terms of speculation, considering the Trump administration last week announced that they finalized terms with them. But it could be another country entirely. They're not the only country with a parliament. But either way, the actual specifics don't really matter, because at the end of the day, the story is, the headline is, we're talking a real economic win. Donald Trump collecting W's and proving every single critic dead wrong. Remember when the media was melting down over his 90-day tariff pause? They basically made the claim that Donald Trump walked into a wall. He realized that his tariffs were a disaster. He caved. Foreign nations called his bluff. Home Depot got on the phone with the president and told him to lay off China. You know, they were claiming that Donald Trump made a serious misstep, that he put America in a bad position and he had to backtrack. But what did we say? I said specifically it wasn't a surrender, it was a leverage tactic. It's strategic pressure. It's the art of the deal. This is what Donald Trump does. You apply pressure, then you take a step back, pause, but still continue dangling the sword, and then you create a window, in this case a 90-day window, where a 10% broad tariff still applies, and there's the looming threat at the end of the 90 days for the big tariffs to come back online. And so basically you got 90 days under high pressure to make a deal with the president. And guess what? They're coming to the table exactly like he said they would. And just imagine how big this could be. I mean, let's entertain the idea that this is India. Well, India's got a whole lot of tariffs on American imports. And also, if this Trump deal with India locks in access to their pharmaceutical and textile markets and then gets them to drop their 12% tariffs, well, all of a sudden, there's all kinds of economic opportunity there. And America now gets an open door to ship LNG and energy exports into a developing country with over 1 billion people. That's 1 billion consumers. That's a win for the American worker. This is about balancing the scales, and for once, we have an administration that's not letting foreign countries take advantage of the American market without giving something in return. And that is the whole Trump Trump play. He's not ending global trade as we know it. He's demanding fair terms. And the message is clear. Make a deal or get left in the frickin' dust. Oh boy, are the haters looking like absolute fools right now. Remember all the doom and gloom headlines, right? Markets are crashing. Trump's trade war is tanking the economy. The worst April since the Great Depression. Yeah, well, last I checked, especially off this news, the markets are up and getting right back to their all-time highs. Everything's rebounding. Consumer confidence is steady. Not to mention Donald Trump's already got some foreign domestic companies to commit billions upon billions of dollars investing in America. And the grand total of all of these investments amounts to over $1 trillion over the next 5 to 10 years. Donald Trump is winning, he's executing on his play, and everything seems to be falling in line. Everything he said was gonna happen seems to be happening in the media. Well, they've got egg on their face once again. All the experts and economists, all the phony talking heads, line after line, everything they're saying, all the propaganda is falling apart. I mean, remember the next lie that they desperately tried to peddle? These tariffs are gonna be inflationary, but that's not the way it works.
If a company were to say, we're raising prices because of the tariff, is that a hostile act?
I think if you go out of your way to try to make it seem like your price has changed when it's nonsense, okay? A 10% tariff is not going to change virtually any price. The only price it would change would be a product that we don't make here, like a mango. If we don't have mangoes here and we charge 10%.
Hopefully nobody's making mangoes.
Right,
yes, you're
correct. Or cocoa, right? We don't grow cocoa in America. But what you're going to see is you're going to see us relentlessly do trade deals everywhere in the world. And when we do a trade deal with that country, we're going to say cocoa does not have a tariff, because this is the smart way that Donald Trump is doing it. He understands if you make a deal with a country and you give them the parts that they want and they need, they're going to open their market. Let us sell soybeans there. Let us sell, people won't let us sell chicken. They won't let us sell beef. It's all nonsense.
A 10% tariff isn't going to crash the economy. It's probably not even going to increase prices. As I just explained in a previous video, the way tariffs work is they're applied on the importer's wholesale cost, their cost of production. So let's say you got a company producing a part at $2 a piece. Well, a 10% tariff on that is 20 cents. That's not going to break the consumer. It's more likely to eat into the foreign exporter's profit margins than it is to ever touch the American consumer. They have to meet market price. They need to remain competitive. But the mainstream media has told you that basically everything's going to go up 10%. If there's a 10% tariff applied, then you're going to see that 10% increase on the retail price domestically. That is insane. It's economically illiterate. And again, Scott Besson cleared this up on NBC like a month ago. Well, maybe not a month ago. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Kristen, what I like is data. And if we look at data from President Trump's first term, and there's a big study that just came out from a group of economists, mostly at MIT, that showed that a 20% tariff on China led to a 0.7% price level increase over 4 years. I think that's pretty good. If we can take in 20% in tariffs and it's a 0.7% increase. And Kristen, the little publicized story this week, everyone wants to look at the stock market going down. You know what else went down? Oil prices went down almost 15% in 2 days.
During Trump's first term, a 20% tariff on China, a broad tariff on Chinese imports, raised prices in America by a total 0.7%. Trump's track record speaks for itself. His entire first term remained pretty consistently under 2% total inflation. But these people want to fearmonger about inflation in the Trump era. Meanwhile, under Joe Biden, we saw 9% inflation in a single month. Inflation soared across the board without a single tariff in sight. The cost of some goods nearly doubled. These policies aren't inflationary, and I think, again, it's part of the bigger play here. I think Trump actually wants to keep some of these low-level tariffs in play, and he might even incorporate, low percentage tariffs in some of these deals. Trump's spoken a lot about using broad tariffs as an external revenue source, the External Revenue Service, replacing the Internal Revenue Service, or at least portions of it. The whole goal is to tax foreign goods that flood the American market and have a competitive advantage due to the labor cost imbalance, put small tariffs on the foreign exporters, and then get into a point where you're pulling so much money from all those small tariffs across the board that you can then use that extra revenue to reduce or eliminate taxes on American citizens making under $150,000 a year. I mean, that's revolutionary stuff. That's populist economic reform at the highest level. And if Trump could get that done, I mean, he is going to go down as probably the most legendary president in modern American history. I don't know, people can doom and gloom all they want. The naysayers can keep naysaying, but I'm looking at Donald Trump, Scott Bessent, and Howard Lutnik seemingly executing on a high level and accomplishing everything that they intended to. And so the reality is we might be witnessing winning at a magnitude that frankly might be unheard of. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.